Ladies and gents, boys and girls, world travelers, welcome back to Tony versus the World. You already know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Tony versus the World. I am your humble and gracious host, Tony. And just like the title says, I'm going to teach you how to use Google to find the exact flights that I find when I travel around the world. Okay, so Google has a lot of different features that you may or may not have known how to use, and I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to show you the exact ways that I use it so I can get the lowest price and find different prices around different airlines around the world. And I talked about this a little bit in another video that I did about 5 tips that I think you should know about when you travel. I'm going to link it up here so you guys can watch that one too. But in this particular video, I'm going to teach you how to use Google to find your exact flights. So let's jump right into the computer. Okay, so a lot of people use websites like Expedia.com, Travelocity, and some of the other websites, cheaptickets.com, to find their flights. Well, what I've found is that using Google actually is an easier way and a smarter way to start finding flights, because it incorporates those sites and hundreds of others to put together a comprehensive list so you can make the best decision. So I'll show you what I mean here. I want to make a listing for a flight from Los Angeles, and let's say to Tokyo, and we're going to see how things work. And let's select our dates. Let's just make it for about 2 weeks, see what it comes out to be. And it gives us a list of prices from high to low, different times of the day. And if we click here, it actually gives us an idea of what the typical price of this particular ticket is going to be. So in this case, it says we're right in the range of typical, almost in the edge of the high range. And it even gives us a price history, so we can see that this ticket was a lot lower, maybe about 15 days before I actually made this listing, and then it started to climb up. So this gives us an idea if we could have got it cheaper if we would have booked earlier. Also, if we scroll up a little bit to price graph, we can click here and it'll tell us what the same 14-day trip will be with different dates. They'll also have consequently different prices. Some of them are higher, some of them are lower, and you can choose which one fits you. So you can see in this example, I chose different dates here. And if you just click the X once you chose, it'll automatically apply those changes to your listing and show you the different prices. So just clicking different ones, you can see how everything changes. The dates change, and your price definitely changes up or down. And you can see it reflects in the list down here. So we can choose the lowest flight here and find out the details if we wanted to. But let's check something else. It's called the nearest airport function. And what it is you can actually drive or take a train to different airports that may or may not be closer to you and see if that makes the price cheaper or even more expensive. And we can select here either the destination airport or the origin airport to change either one of them to, again, see the price difference in the airports. So some of the airports are further and some of the airports are closer, and obviously you can see the price changes. Okay, so let's go back to the listing and continue on. So as we scroll down, we said we're gonna pick the cheapest flight here, and if we drop this down, we can see the details of the flight, when it goes, when it arrives, and you can see here in the light gray print that it's actually offered, the very same ticket is offered by another airline, which gives you more options. So let's select this flight, and this is our return flight. Let's select this one, and it gives you, again, all the details to tell you that this is an overnight flight, which is important because that's really good on a long flight like that. But this one here has a really, really long layover. So we probably won't want that one. Let's check the next one here. Here's a non-stop one that we can find. And drop down, you can see all the information. Let's select this one. And then this brings you to the pay screen. And on this screen, it gives us the typical flight bar as well. We can see we're looking pretty good on this typical range here for this particular flight. And we also have the option to track prices too. So if we click here, it'll actually send me an email to tell me when this flight actually gets more expensive or gets less expensive, and then I can purchase when I need to. So let's read the instructions here. But you know what? Let's turn this off because I really don't want an email sent for this particular flight, not yet. So let's go back and try this flight or another flight for a different destination. Let's try again from, let's say, LAX again. And pick LAX, and let's try Philadelphia, where I'm originally from. And let's click this. Oh, okay, sorry. So it gave me all of these flights. I have to take these off, and Philadelphia only. Okay, so let's do the same dates, and let's check our nearby airports, because I know that there's airports that are pretty close to Philly, relatively. And we could see that there's a price difference, but it doesn't really make any sense to go further if I really want to go to Philly. So these here are just giving you options about what you can do. And let me check this price graph to see. Again, there's a different change here if I want to go on different dates. So if I select this one and go out of it, get back to the X, it gives me the updated price. I can choose one. And let's see, our typical range shows that we're actually picking a low price ticket, which is what everybody wants to do. That's great. This gives me a little bit of confidence here. But let's say you're like me and you don't want to fly on the low budget airlines. You can set your search to show you whatever you want to see. So let's take off all of these airlines except for a few, and let's see what it gives us back. And check all of these except for the major airlines, and the list updates automatically. Alright, so let's go with this listing here. Check the details, make sure it's good. Let's select this flight and select our return. Check this out. Let's pick this one here, and it looks good. It tells us our typical range. We're still pretty good. We're still in the middle there, which works. It's not too high, not too low. And let's select it. So if you notice, it takes us directly to the American Airlines webpage. Well, if this was Expedia or if this was Travelocity, it would take you to their page as well. And you can just fill in your details, and bam, you got the best flight, the one that you wanted, the cheapest one, the one that you picked, all in less time than you would have if you would have took all the other websites. And we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed those couple of tips that I shot out for you guys. So those are the exact methods that I use when I search Google all around the world for flights, literally for every airline around the world. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit. Hopefully you guys will start to do things on your own and don't pay travel agents to do what you can do yourself. I hope you guys liked it. Come back next time because I got a lot more content for you. Let's go.